A lot of people go say Gabon citizens they happy. The Gabonese they happy because of say they are through their president. Yes, why they not go happy? Because these France people they support Gabon, they make them feel say the president they are doing well and all of that, blah blah blah. But in recent, the people of Gabons are suffering. Gabonese are suffering because after Nigeria, Gabons have the another highest oil producing country in Africa. They are so rich and wealthy. So in recent, Gabon people don't supposed to be poor. Why? Because their population they very small. The population of Gabon no reach Lagos. According to what day, Gabon is approximately 2.3 million people. 2.3 million people, which means the government go fit build house for all their citizens, buy their car, they pay the salary of $1,000 every month. They can do it. But instead, this president, he married French woman. His papa na be president before. As his papa die, he can't take over. Now, he want die for the show. Maybe he take over. Now, the people say, nah, he capa. Now, they are true. Now, a lot of countries for Europe, they complain. Of recent now, what I can see again, I say, the European Union want carry their military base go Benin Republic. Because they feel say the same thing go happen for Benin. Because Benin, they face the kind president situation where we say the president don't be there for long. So, my people, what can we go from here? Gabon have the most highest oil producing country, very wealthy country, one of the richest country in Africa. But the people live, 80% of the citizens live in abject poverty. Is that democracy? Is that how democracy functions in Europe? Why are the European Union supporting these evil leaders in Africa? This is my problem. And they say they don't find out. Say the Gabon president and his family, they buy different assets. They pack plenty money, different account for France. May not go beside the Lamona watch this video. May not hear what this journalist find out.
Gabon has had a coup, with one of the country's top generals blindsiding the administration of the reclusive Gabonian president in a military revolt that ended a 56-year political dynasty. But there is more to this story than meets the eyes, and so many questions yet to be answered. How was a president that suffered massive strokes and was unable to make public appearances for years able to stay in power for so long? Was Gabon actually being run by the president's French wife? Was it a coincidence that the First Lady of Gabon came from an elite European financial family? And how was there a coup with essentially no violence? To understand why the coup happened, we have to talk about the backstory. For the past half-century, Gabon was led exclusively by the Bongo family. This family was considered to be one of France's most important allies in West Africa, and always had the support of the Western world despite certain improprieties, which we will discuss later. Ali Bongo is the most recent generation. He officially took over control of Gabon when his father, Omar Bongo, died in 2009, but in reality he was running the country for a long time prior. Like most leaders, he preached patriotism and the need to improve the country, but behind the scenes he had cut a lot of deals for Gabon's resources that were questionable, to put it lightly. Here's where it gets interesting. Ali Bongo was actually married many years prior into the French elite, which eventually made French national Sylvia Bongo the First Lady of Gabon. Coincidentally, her family was big in European finance and banking, so we have to ask, who was really pulling the strings in Gabon? It's suspected that as First Lady, she would broker deals with France, and her husband, President Ali Bongo, would make sure Gabon went along with whatever deal France proposed. This includes extracting resources and oil for pennies on the dollar. And the Bongo family was handsomely rewarded for their service. In fact, a French financial police investigation in 2007 found the Bongo family owned 39 properties in France. They had 70 bank accounts and 9 luxury cars totaling 1.5 million euros in value. And many people suspect that the Bongo family had far more assets than the auditors were able to account for. In the 15 years since the investigation, this could easily be in the billions of dollars. This arrangement with France worked until President Ali Bongo's health declined unexpectedly. He had multiple strokes, his cognitive health declined, after which he would rarely make public appearances. It's suspected that this left Sylvia and her sons in charge of running Gabon behind the scenes, with Ali Bongo being nothing more than a figurehead. Although Sylvia could handle French diplomacy, she quickly lost control of the ministers and the subordinates, who began to use their government authority to extort local businesses, which led to an exodus of business talent from Gabon. This was a complaint we heard from our African clients firsthand, and a reason why we never seriously considered Gabon for our investments. Gabon is a democracy, and despite rarely making appearances and often being incoherent, polling data projected the president was going to be able to secure a third term this year. This was the justification the army used, and led by General Bryce, they overthrew the Bongo regime and placed charges of high treason on many of the previous government officials. That this happened very quickly and with very little violence says to me almost everyone was tired of the Ali Bongo regime. The former president even released a video in English where he appeared to be confused about where he was and what was happening around him. These events obviously shook many of the current African leaders, who may be asking themselves tonight, are we next on the chopping block? And thus many of them have been quick to condemn the new government of Gabon. But within Gabon, it was impressive how quickly the new leader was able to unite the people and the army across ethnic and political lines, at least for now. At the moment, it seems that many people in Gabon are glad to see the previous government is gone, even though there's no way to know for sure how good the new government is going to be. So what can you expect? This new government is saying the right things, that they want to stabilize the country, get rid of corruption, open the borders early next year, and hand over power to a democratically elected leader. Now, if General Bryce can come through on his promises to keep government officials from exploiting local business owners, and if he can use the country's oil wealth to build up local industry and engage in value-added activity, he will instantly gain credibility with the people of Gabon, and everyone will benefit. However, if he gives in to the temptation of foreign money, it'll probably be business as usual. But I want to know what you guys think. Was this coup necessary for the citizens of Gabon? Do you think the new government of Gabon is going to be a puppet for the West, like the previous regime, or do you think that the new government will act with integrity and improve the lives of the Gabonese citizens? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if this video provided value to you, give me a like and a follow. That really helps out my channel, and I will see you